I will be forever the myth.
You're the king of kings,
There's always a pecking order. The little peckers never mess with the big peckers. So I'm a rooster, and he's a chicken, so to speak.
All right, welcome back to the Bodybuilding Legends Podcast. I have two legends with me today. They were great teenage champions, and they both went on to become professional IFBB bodybuilders. First, we have Franco Santoriello. Franco was a great teenage champion, and then he won. Franco, what did you win to get your pro card? You won your class at the Nationals,
I tried to get
right?
my pro card in 1988, but somebody decided to go down a weight class and get shredded and kick my butt. So I had to wait till 89, and I won the men's nationals in 89.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Frank almost had me just by a smidgen. Almost had me.
You know, I came to that show. I was like, I'm going to get it this year, you know, and then this son of a gun shows up shredded out of the loops. I was like, what the heck? I gave him my best shot, though.
You got it, brother.
That was very good thinking on your part, Eddie. Like, if you forced yourself to get down to light heavy, you knew the condition was going to be there.
Well, you know, it was kind of scary, you know, because I was dialed in right where I wanted to be. You know, I came that shot. I had to get down to what was it? What was cut off? 197?
198.
Yeah. So I came in there. When I came in that show, I was about, I think it was like 208 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's when I seen you in the weigh-in. We had 2-day weigh-in.
Yeah.
And Frank made that one comment that just chapped my ass. He says, "You're lucky you're not in my class."
Did I say that?
Not in my class. And I said, I'm going to do a late weigh-in. I ran the stairs. I had a big fat pinch of Copenhagen in, man. I sat in the sauna. I was just destined. I weighed in at 99 pounds. I kept getting on that scale. And finally, the next day we had that weigh-in, the actual weigh-in. That's when I finally got my weight dialed in. And I tell you what, if you're looking in, I can barely walk on that scale. I was in a bad shape, man.
I bet you after you weighed in, you were like, give me some food.
Oh, you know it, man.
Liquids, too. You were probably so dehydrated.
Well, the thing is, somebody, Twin Labs was there with their Ultra Fuel. And I remember over there said, "Hey, can I have?" He goes, "Yeah, take what you want." I remember taking one of those big Ultra Fuel containers, and I poured it a gallon of water, and I just chugged it. I didn't care.
The whole thing?
Oh no, I took about a quarter of it, you know, because that was a canister. And man, I tell you what, man, veins were popping in my head. My body was just hydrated. But no, I just have dialed in. I couldn't spill over. There's no way I was so depleted.
Yeah, you were so tight.
Well, we just heard him talking. Now we're going to see him doing, Corey. Eddie Robinson at 5'7", has some work cut out for him, but he comes in here in the prejudging ranked number 1. Perfect score in the class. Weighed in at 196, but that was 2 days ago they weighed them in. Now he's competing at 210.
That's the beauty of being able to weigh in a couple days ahead, because maybe he was a little bit dehydrated. He weighed in, got into this weight class, and now he ate a lot of carbohydrates, which therefore filled out his physique.
Look at him prowling the stage.
He's really great. He's got the biggest arms I've ever seen. He's got a huge bicep. Oh, he's...
Those
really
arms are 21 inches.
They're big arms.
You're looking at the 1986 Junior National Champion. He's the man that beat Sean Ray that year. Teenage Florida State Champion in '84. Golden Gloves boxer. And he's putting it all on the line here tonight.
Boxer, he's a pretty good athlete then, that's for sure. He's got showing a wide range of posing, which is nice to see men do, too. He's not just hitting the typical type posing. He's moving quickly through his poses, although he is hitting them long enough for the judges to assess his physique. Playing with the audience. He's got striations in his gluteus, which is a rare thing to see. Oh, he's a lot of fun.
I like his attitude.
He's fun. And you know what's really nice about him? He's very gentle, and he's not cocky. He's not conceited at all. And he's supportive of his competitors.
He's just a very confident man.
Yeah, and he's very secure with himself.
But we're going to see him in the overall. I think the crowd has truly enjoyed Eddie and Franco, for that matter, these last two.
I think that the crowd right now is in awe, to tell you the truth. I'm sure if you look at them, all their chins will be dropped down, staring ahead.
Well, yours is.
Shut up.
There he is. They do love him. Eddie Robinson leaves the stage to a somewhat of a standing ovation. I'll tell you what, they're enjoying it. Heavyweights are coming up next, so don't go away.
That was good.
I tell you what, in that show was amazing. It was a crazy show. I tell you what.
Yeah, we had some shot.
You know, there's a lot of top pros there. So just beat on. I think that was one of the best USAs ever. I mean, Joshua John.
I think it was, yeah. And then my class, when I got my pro card in 89, I was up against Al Q Gurley, Porter Cottrell, Flex Wheeler.
Wow.
Us was in there. Oh my gosh. But
yeah,
you know
what?
What?
When you look at those contests from the 80s,
that year because I just been around. They're like, let's get this guy out of here. Give him his pro. Because I tell you, Al Q Gurley and Porter, they were in good shape that day. But I think what I had is I had the physique, the symmetry, and I had the mass, and I was conditioned enough to pull it off. But it was a tough show.
Yeah.
You always came in, conditioned. You were always. I'm gonna let my dog out real quick. You were always conditioned, so you're a threat to anybody. That was the thing.
Yeah. Because the two favorites of the light heavyweight division are ready to go. First on stage, Franco Santoriello. And Corey, I'll just let you comment on him right now.
Well, Joe, so far so good. He's actually got a nice choice of music. He's posing the way you should pose to this type of music, nice and slow, powerful. He does have a lot of muscle.
Thick might be the operative word.
Thick, he looks phenomenal. He really looks phenomenal.
23 years old, 5'5", 190 pounds, from Dunellen, New Jersey.
There's his hamstring and his calf development. He's a lot thicker than the other guys as far as total balance, thickness in every body part. He's got good proportion between the lengths of his arms and his legs and his upper body to his lower body. It's put together quite nicely.
5 years ago, Franco had a banner year, winning the Teenage Nationals and the U.S. Nationals in the same year. 5 years ago at the age of 18, and it's been to the top ever since.
Beautiful.
Franco Santoriello, now his mate.
Yeah, thank you. Where are you at? What room are you in right there?
Oh, it's my trophy room right here.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's nice. I've seen it on Facebook before.
I'm taking a good run. Well, here's I'm on Tampa Bay, so I'll give you a really quick here. I know we're got limited here, but I'm on Tampa Bay. I'm on a finger, so this is just the inlet here. But
gosh, Eddie, that's so cool.
There's the office. I don't know if you can see it real good, but I got all the stuff up here, and I'm surprised I got a picture of you, Franco, around here somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what? I have it right up there. I don't know if you can see the USA up there.
Yeah.
And the trophy, and they handed me the trophy. You're up there. Right.
That's a beautiful room. Yeah, that's a beautiful place you got there.
This is a good span. And of course, they got the covers.
Yeah, I've seen that before. It's really sad.
Oh, cool.
Because of my addiction, all my trophies and everything that I've ever won, all my stuff, it's all gone because in my addiction, I had put everything in a storage unit when we moved and we never paid for it, and I lost everything. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Today, that stuff's nice, but it's more the internal gifts that we have that mean, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But that's a nice room you got there, Eddie. I admire that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I got rid of all the trophies. Are sitting in all the gyms, the local gyms. I didn't want the trophy, but I kept all my statues, you know.
Yeah.
Got all the world record stuff up there, you know, for my world records and all my world arm wrestling champion stuff up here. So, you know, I come to the room, you know, sometimes I get discouraged and I'm like, you know, it just brings me back to life of the things that I've done in my past, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and then when I come in this room, my body starts hurting though when I look. It's like, oh, man, I remember that. I remember that tear. I remember that.
Yeah, right. All that weight, right?
You know, hey, Eddie, your life's not over yet, buddy. You can still make a difference in this world, brother. You know that.
You know that, brother.
I'm a believer too, bro. So, you know, people listen, follow you, and they look to you. So, you know, be that light, bro. Be that light.
Oh, you got it right, brother. You know, it's just another chapter. This is just a chapter of the past, but it's good. Yeah. Back in reminiscence. It's great seeing you, especially at our age right now.
Dude, oh my gosh. I couldn't wait to see you. I'm glad we're talking because there's been so many times I wanted to call you and just talk to you, like pray with you and stuff, but I never really did. But I'm glad that we're able to. How are you doing, man, physically? Like, I know you've been through a lot.
Well, you know, my story, and Don, I hate to catch you out here, man, because, you know, we're here to shooting the jaw here, but, you know.
No, go ahead, guys.
2018, I think John just did an interview with me about a year prior to my training. I was actually ready for the NABA Universe. I wanted to do the Masters.
What year was that, Eddie?
That was 2018.
Yeah, Pearl told me you're making a comeback.
Yeah. My weight was about 245, 250. I was going to bring it down. I was trying to hit the stage around 228.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was bringing it down, and I also was powerlifting a lot then. You know, I had my bench. I was benching over a 6. I think I did a 675, 650. I got a couple pictures doing 668, something like that.
Holy shit.
But you know, but I was going to also go for the world record again in the Masters bench. So I was preparing for that, and also I wanted to world championship in arm wrestling. So those are the old things I did, but I wanted to go to the Masters.
Yeah.
So what happened in 2000 was July 22nd, 2018. You know, I was pretty much dialing it in for what was it, October, November was the Universe. I was just dialing it in. And so there was a dog in the gym, and I was at the counter texting one of my clients, stepped back, tripped over the dog, got tangled to my legs. And it was like a run, because when I was tripped over, I was trying to catch my balance. I took 4 or 5 running steps and dove. When I tripped, and my head went right into wooden lockers. And I woke up pretty much in the hospital. Totally destroyed my cervical, you know, C2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Total cage in my neck, destroyed my shoulder, lower back, and jammed my knee into my hip. So I had 7 surgeries to this date.
7.
Yeah, I had a full hip replacement done. We're going 8 months ago. Had shoulder totally redone. And of course, I got a full cage in my neck.
Wow.
Ended up going to the hospital. The thing is, when I got to the hospital, I kind of vaguely remember what happened. And I couldn't move my legs. I was paralyzed. So I was I was scheduled for emergency surgery. That's when I had to take the C2 and 3 disc out of my spinal cord. So I remember when they were wheeling me in there, I heard somebody say, "Hey, we're going to prepare for trach." I go, "What? Trach?" You know, when they do that stuff, you know, it's bad.
Yeah.
That C2 and 3 disc in that cervical, of course, it's that phrenic nerve. That phrenic nerve controls the diaphragm to breathe. So I was having difficulty breathing. That's why they're going to do that. So long story short, I had the surgery done, and hey, I'm fine now, thank God. But you know, I could be sitting paralyzed on a breathing machine, to be honest with you. But
how's the nerve pain, Eddie?
You know, I'm still dealing with chronic pain. You know, from the whole neck issue. And there's really nothing, you can't burn. The nerves are so high up, you can't burn them out. Because sometimes you get lower nerves, they can burn them. So you don't have that feeling that they're high up. So I got problems in my hands, still a little atrophy in the chest yet, but I'm still giving it hell. You know, it's not stopping me. I train through the pain, but
you're still training again now?
What's that?
You're training again now? You're able to train?
I'm in the gym 5 days a week. You know, I'll be at probably 35%. but right now it's just maintenance, maintaining, my body right now, I just weighed in about 238, 240. So, I'm ripped. I'm just, I got like 2 abs. So
yeah, right.
Wow.
But you weren't able to train for a while, right, Eddie, when this happened?
I was down for a full year.
Okay.
I saw. Yeah.
What's that?
You were posting all that on Facebook. I saw all your surgeries and everything you were going to.
It was hard.
I was feeling for you. I was praying for you too.
I'm glad you're back in the gym, Eddie.
Hey, appreciate
it. Yeah, that's what I do about 5 days a week for maintenance. I just try to stay in shape for my mind.
Exactly.
I have my father was bipolar and I inherited that same crap stuff. But he committed suicide. So for me, part of my medication is I got to work out just to keep my body and my mind stable.
Exactly.
Franco, you just had a cancer scare, right?
Yeah. Back in October. I went to my doctor April before that, like April of last year. I thought I had a swollen gland. I went in there. I said, "Hey, doc," because my doc, he's a Christian. I said, "Hey, doc, give me some antibiotics. I got a swollen gland in my neck." He's like, "All right," wrote me a prescription. And when you take them, they tell you got to take it exactly as prescribed. Don't miss a dose.
Right.
5 airway pack a thing of antibiotics. I don't know what it is. But I think I missed a dose or maybe 2. So I thought, oh, man, that's why it wasn't going away. So I just kind of blew it off for a couple months. And then a few months later, I'm like, man, this thing's still here. And it looks like it's growing. It's mass on my. I went back to the doctors. He goes, "You need to get that looked at." So I went and got it looked at from a friend of mine who's a sports doctor. He did a sonogram and he said, "You need to go see an ear, throat, and nose specialist." And 3 weeks later, I was in surgery for 5 hours with 2 surgeons, came out of it in ICU for 3 days with tubes coming out of every hole in my body. It was horrible.
So it was cancer of what, Franco?
Yeah, it's called HPV.
HPV. Okay, I heard of that. Yeah.
Over virus or something. Same thing Michael Douglas got.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's from me being wild when I was young, running around. Wild.
Same thing with Michael Douglas, right?
Yeah. But we're good. I just went back for my first PET scan and it came out. Everything was all great, clean.
Okay.
So I gotta stay on for a few years and then get my report that I'm clean. So ain't no devil taking me out with cancer.
You got that. All right.
Yeah, I've had heart attacks, massive heart attacks. I had the Widowmaker heart attack 11 years ago. I was dead.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever knew that story, but yeah, I had my son. He was about 8, I guess. So he's 21. So it was really like 13 years ago, I guess, 12 or 13 years ago. Maybe it was 9. But this is at a point in my life too, again, where I was at a very low. We were in poverty, homeless, pretty much living in a travel lodge, me and my ex-wife and my son at the time, and she was out doing business somewhere, so it was just me and him that weekend, slept there. And I went to bed that night, woke up in surgery with doctors, and I'm like, what the heck happened? I go, I said, did I have a heart attack? And they said, no, you're having one. What happened when I went to bed that night, in the morning time, I had the heart attack in my sleep, and my son saw me foaming at the mouth, so he tried to wake me up. He couldn't. And then he was smart enough, thank God, he called the desk where we were staying. He's like, my dad, something's wrong. So they came running down and did CPR, and we called 911. When they got there, the paramedics, I was dead. They started to treat me because we were staying in a travel lodge, like where there's a lot of drugs. So they were treating a heroin overdose. They kept hitting me with Narcan, and I wouldn't come back to life. They're like, well, this guy's dead. They got a body bag out to put me in it.
Jeez.
I was that dead.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But what happened, I don't know the whole story. I just kind of say it like this when I tell the story and I give my testimony. I tell people, I said, I think God tapped the guy on the shoulder and said, I'm not done with him yet. Can you use the defibrillator instead of Narcan? Defibrillator got a heart rate. Oh my gosh, he's alive. And then they brought me to the hospital and stented me up. But I was clinically dead from that. And then at 30 years old, I was clinically dead from a heroin overdose. I've been dead more times than a cat.
Unbelievable.
But I'm here alive, living good, healthy, clean.
Yeah.
Got a new job now, career. I'm doing outside sales. doing really good at it. You know what I mean? The
What are you
breast,
selling? What are you selling, Franco?
home improvement, wet space and windows and remodeling kitchens and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess just because I love people so much. So, you know, I go in the home, I just love on them and show them a great product. And most of the time they buy it.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So when did you guys first meet? What show was it that you first?
I know when I first met Eddie in person was in that dang sauna. You remember Eddie?
Was that the day of the USA? Was that the USA?
USA. I went down to get in the sauna, and you were there. No, I don't know if you were already in it.
Yeah, I was out to beat your ass because I was trying to drop that weight.
Yeah, in the sauna, sweating, and I remember I came in. I remember losing Wick told me about you. He's like, look out for this guy Eddie Robinson. He's really like, you know, he's tough, Franco. I'm like, okay. So I remember I got down and I walked in, and you know what's crazy, Eddie, is on my whole way down to that show, from the time I got on the airplane in New Jersey, flew to DeLand, Florida, Daytona, Florida, and drove my dad's car down to Miami. Is where it was in Miami, right? Yeah. Right. I snorted an 8-ball of cocaine the whole way. Oh my. So me and my girlfriend. So when I got to the hotel, I was wired out of my butt. So I was like, oh, I got to come down from this. So I ordered like 5 pina coladas. And I guzzled them. And then all of a sudden, because I was so depleted and dehydrated from all that cocaine, I ate that alcohol. I went boom, veins everywhere. I was like, yeah. I got a little buzz. I went down to the sauna and I saw Eddie. I'm like, oh, poop, who's this guy?
Yeah, I had my similar stories after that sauna. When I finally made my weight, I went home and I got me I ordered a pitcher of Bud Light, and I think I went through a can of Copenhagen. My story was just a little bit different from me.
Not an 8-ball of Coke. Now, when did you guys weigh in for that show, Eddie? Was it the day before? Because I know they did things differently in the 80s, right? I know they got the check-in and stuff the day before, but
I forget what it was so vague. I think it was the day before you can weigh in, and then the day of.
Okay.
I can't early weigh in because I didn't care. I really didn't care what my weight was. Right. I know it was weight, and my thing was just dialing in and just watching the water weight. And when I got off the plane in Miami, I was on the money. I was like, don't drop anything. I think I was about. I don't know. I was at 209, 213 in between there.
Holy cow.
On the money. Then of course Franco made that comment and just turned my head around saying, you know what? Maybe it's best for me just to come in the top of the light heavy instead of the heavyweight, you know? Because I looked at heavyweight, I go, I have these heavyweights. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. But the light heavy was a pretty tough class. I said, shit, I'll just drop that weight in and come in right at the top. And when Franco, you know, he had that cocky look on his face, you know, and he looked great. You know, you can see when you're cocky, you know, you're in good shape like that, you're going to take care of everybody. So when he said, when I weighed in, he goes, yeah, you're lucky you're not in my class. You know, beat your ass, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay. Off to the sauna I went. Of course, you know, Franco's in the sauna too. He didn't need to lose any weight. He was dialed. He was right on the money. But I was destined to get in that weight class, and I did it. I dropped it. So
the light heavyweight. Franco, what's the deal with you and Eddie?
No deal. Eddie believes he won the contest. I believe that I won the contest, and it's going to come down to the next 5 minutes to find out who really did win the show.
You guys have been competing against each other for how many years now?
Well, we competed one time, and I beat Eddie. So I feel like I'll do it again today. I was a middleweight, and he was a light heavy. Now I'm a light heavy, and he's a light heavy. So I got more muscle, and he just got the same amount of muscle.
A little heavy, intense, friendly competition.
Oh yeah, that's the way it is, though. It wouldn't be a bodybuilding. It wouldn't be a sport unless it was like that. Here he comes now.
Hi, Eddie. Okay, now you've got your say. How do you think about this guy? Well,
this guy's a champion. I have nothing bad to say about Franco. He's been a champion all his life, and I wish him best tonight. I think he deserves it.
And you too, Eddie. That's what I said before. Good luck today, man.
Yeah.
All right, may the best man win.
That's it.
Okay.
And we'll know who that is later on this evening.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
if you like a fight between two outspoken champions, you're going to have it next. You got it. Santoriello and Robinson are up next. Stay with us.
Okay, the light heavyweight division is sponsored by Dave Hawk's World of Fitness. 5th place trophy will be presented by Lois Harrison. And in 5th place, we have number 65, Rogue Felder. Rope, get on the far side over there. Thank you. Our 4th place trophy will be presented by Jerry Smith. And in 4th place, we have Mark Bates, number 72. Third place trophy presented by Misty Suter, and that goes to number 84, Darryl Stafford. Second place trophy presented by Holly Magarian. Who do you want? I don't hear you. Second place, number 69, Franco Santoriello. First place trophy is presented by Sergio Olivero to Eddie Robinson. Guys, can we get you in a little bit tighter and let's have a front double bicep. Front double bicep. Okay, how about a lat spread? How about a side chest? Thank you very much. We'll see Eddie back in just a minute.
Yeah. That's the gimmick on that.
So you got down to 198, and then how much did you go back up before you went on stage?
Oh, I want to tell you something. When I weighed in after the show, after the night show, yeah. I was about I want to say I don't know what the scale was in the gym at there. I know after the show I was probably about I think it was 215.
Wow.
Something like that. But yeah. I was chugging the water and just monitoring, taking in some sugars in the back when I was pumping up, especially the night show, just monitoring. And I just filled up and just bloomed, man. I was just ready to rip.
Yeah.
Like you can hold that peak for it's only so long when you start pounding that water. And you
had to take out Johnnie Morant, right? In the heavies.
Yeah. Oh my God. Johnnie was a freak. Johnnie has the potential to kill any. He scared me. Thing was, he came a little soft, thank God.
Yeah.
Eyeballing Johnnie, I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's huge.
Yeah. He had them biceps.
Everything.
Everything.
The chest, Johnnie, man, was just everything about Johnnie was huge. He had huge chest. He just wasn't ripped enough,
And Corey Everson back with you. 5 champions on this stage, all gunning for the USA overall title. The bantamweight champion, Earl Snyder. Number 1 in the lightweight, Rob Frosian. John Sherman of the middleweight division. The light heavyweight winner, Eddie Robinson. And, of course, John Morant, the heavyweight winner. Now they're going to pose down.
Yeah, now they should be running around stage trying to challenge the other competitors. And if the people are in their right mind, they'll be challenging Morant. They'll be following around him.
Chasing him
and trying to challenge him. Also the light heavyweight. I think it's going to be between heavyweight and light heavyweight.
Well, the light heavyweight, of course, is Eddie Robinson, and the heavyweight is Johnnie Morant. Johnnie Morant, right now, kind of
Yeah, he just is so big that he just dominates. Look at him walking around. It's like he's bored.
All right, we're ready for the announcement. Let's listen in.
And what did I tell you?
You told me Eddie or Johnny. Eddie wins it. Eddie Robinson backed up those words he had earlier on our show. He sure did.
Wow. Look at him. He's so excited. Well, I was close. I had the 2 picks anyways, between the 2 of them.
Eddie Robinson, 5'7", 210 pounds.
Holding up those big guns of his, those 21-inch arms.
He's been a Golden Gloves boxer, and he is currently a champion in bodybuilding. He's done a little bit of everything. And he's taking a bite of the candy that he hasn't been allowed to eat for the last 2 months.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, Eddie, you swallow, and we'll come back and talk with Eddie and have... He's going to use his trophy as a trash can.
That's wonderful.
That's good. We'll be back with Eddie and some final comments right after this. To the North Raleigh Hilton Hotel. Eddie Robinson wins the overall title at our competition tonight. Now, he is heading backstage, and we're going to have a word with him in just a moment. Give us a chance in the meantime to type a couple of loose ends. You'd mentioned during the broadcast about the women being drug tested, the men in this particular event not being drug tested. Why?
Well, I think that the women have been drug tested for the last 5 to 8 years because we petitioned to having drug testing done. I think that there's more of a resistance with the men to having the drug testing done. Also, there's, I think, a lack of financial support.
Okay, we're told that Eddie Robinson is backstage with Wendy Womble, and we're going to go to that interview right now.
Oh, I know you're excited. What are your plans now? After just taking it easy for a couple nights, I know you're excited about going pro.
So much to do right now. I don't know where to begin, really. So I'm going to enjoy my victory and do what I can to help out the people in the sport. And for now, and I'm going to keep on pumping. That's it.
Sounds great to me. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
I think the audience is thrilled.
They're fabulous. That's what it's all about. That's why I was here tonight.
Let's see that trophy. Now, where are you going to put this?
I'm going to put this probably tonight on the breakfast table because I'm going to drink my OJ out of this for next year with my Carboplex.
Hotel accommodations in Raleigh, North Carolina have been provided by the North Raleigh Hilton Hotel. Stay tuned for more bodybuilding competition here on ESPN.
Me and Johnny were workout partners for that show.
Oh, that's right. New Jersey, right?
Trained together a lot for that show. When I could chase him down, he was always chasing girls.
Franco Santoriello. Franco, how do you feel you're going to place tonight?
Well, the way I see it, I feel that I won in the contest. It's close. I feel it's between Daryl, Eddie, and myself. Daryl's got the great symmetry. Eddie's got great size. I got symmetry and size. And as far as the fineness goes, I think in my eyes they may be a touch more refined than the two, but you don't know. You know, last year they said they wanted me to be more refined, so I came in this, more refined this year. But Daryl and Eddie both look very good, and it's going to be very, very close.
What did you do different from last year that they wanted you to do to improve yourself?
Well, I came in darker. I needed a little more color. They said get a little darker, so I did that, which wasn't much harder. I just had to lay in the bed and let my girlfriend do the protein. But as far as in the gym goes, I brought my lower lats out a little bit, and I tried to work on the calves, bring my calves up. I was training with the great Johnnie Morant, and he helped me get my back up because he's got that phenomenal back. Johnny, you hear that? Anyways, yeah, I brought the back up I needed, I felt I needed to get more hardness in my back and refine my physique a little bit, and that's what I worked on mostly.
Well, that's good. You look good, so good luck.
Every drop of rain that falls is Sahara Desert says it all. It's a miracle. All God's creations, great and small, the Golden Gate and the Taj Mahal, that's a miracle. There's two babies being born, mothers, fathers, dead and gone.
These are the top 15 light heavyweights. First, from Los Angeles, California, Gordon Kearns. From Atlanta, Georgia, Tyrone Ropeman Felder. Nashua, New Hampshire, Kevin McGowan. Staten Island, New York, TJ Hewitt. Denellen, New Jersey, Franco Santoriello. Marietta, Georgia, Tom Armour. Franklin, Virginia, Mike Grant. Spartanburg, South Carolina, Mark Bates. Anybody out there? Come on. Chicago, Illinois, Gregory Clausen. From Troy, Ohio, Jeff Glauber. Dallas Hills, Illinois, Chilik Seno. Fair Lawn, New Jersey, Freedom Boo Jackley. Las Vegas, Nevada, Jeff Clay. Atlanta, Georgia, Daryl Stafford. And the smallest guy in the group from Largo, Florida, Eddie Robinson.
I was chasing low. He was chasing girls.
Yeah, me and Johnny were pretty tight during the WBF days. We were really close.
Right. I was telling my wife about that when you turned pro, you went to the WBF. It was like for 3 years or something.
Well, the WBF lasted for 2 years, but the contest. But I stayed on for 4 because I signed on with the ICA Pro, which is an conditioning program that Fred Hatfield came on with, and ICA Pro. So I stayed on for an extra 2 years. So I got a 4-year contract where everybody else got 2.
Nice.
And it was kind of rough because that was my first Olympia there in 1990. And I was just heading top on that because I won my first pro show, did pretty good in the Olympia, and then I'm like, I get a call from Vince McMahon saying, "Hey, I'm doing another federation. What would it take for you to come aboard?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what will it take?" I'm like, "I'm not going anywhere. Do federation. I just got my pro card, man. I'm heading to the top."
Right. I want to hear the story. Go ahead.
Yeah. And he goes, "Well, give me a number." So I go, "Okay." He's a rich guy. I threw him a number. I'm like, he goes, "Pants." And he said, "Okay." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I should have went higher." But I gave him a stupid number, and And I signed that contract for. I didn't do a 2-year. I did a 4-year because he wanted me to sign for ICA Pro, which was a totally different contract on that too. With Fred Hatfield. So, I think were you the Cybergenics guy that time?
Yeah, I was Cybergenics. I did the Cybergenics stuff. I ran with them for 7 years. They paid me.
7 years. Wow. Yeah. You were famous from that, Franco.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's one thing Cybergenics did for me. It made me world famous.
Yeah, you were on ESPN all the time.
Fire in the world.
Right.
That's what I tell people. In my book, I wrote a book, you guys know. In my book, in chapter 6, it's called Sellout. How I sold out to Perillo and did the Cybergenics thing. I tell the story how that affected my inner being.
Yeah.
It really messed me up, when I did that. But John didn't have a company, you know what I mean? And I was just turned pro, and I was a drug addict, and I needed money.
Yeah.
So, this company comes along, and they offered me a bunch of money. And the crazy thing was, the day after I signed my Cybergenics contract, I get a call from John's lawyer telling me, oh, yeah, John's got a supplement company. He wants you to be his spokesperson. I said, what? Because he was keeping it a secret from me. Like, he wanted to surprise me. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're a surprise.
Yeah, he surprised you.
Yeah, surprise, bro. I started crying and bawling. I couldn't believe what happened. I'm like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe this, what just happened. I would have, even his money was a lot less than what they were giving me, but I would have ran to that just to be with John. And it probably would have did a lot better because he would have kept me in line.
Yeah,
that was the worst. I started partying so much. I used a lot of drugs during that time.
Now, you guys were both great teenage champions. I thought you competed as teenagers. Did you know each other as teenagers?
Yeah, no, we competed as teenagers. That's what I started talking about when I went down to Miami. Then Eddie got back to the men's.
Okay.
Yeah, we competed in the light heavyweight class in the 84 Teen USA.
Okay. Right. All right.
Remember that, Eddie?
I do. I won that one. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I have right here, the plaque on the wall right here.
When you won the Teenage USA?
Teenage USA, yeah. And I had to look around and see what I had. I think I had something right under that Teen USA. Yeah.
I think I won the overall, though, didn't I?
Yeah, you won the overall, Franco. Eddie won the light heavies. I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
Right.
And then Eddie came and kicked my butt when we became men.
So the rivalry started in '84 then, right? When you guys were teenagers.
Yeah, I feel that rivalry was really just mostly fun. I mean, I think Zwick started it. He's like, you guys should go at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always got to have a rivalry. They did the same thing with me and Sean Ray when I won the junior nationals, you know.
Yeah.
I always loved rubbing that in Sean's face, you know.
Right.
With me. I'm like, I didn't get to step on Olympia with Sean really because I left in '90 and went and made some money because money was more important to me than getting a plaque or getting a trophy or whatever. Because I was never going to win the Olympia. Sorry, my dog keeps jumping on me. I was never going to win the Olympia. I didn't have the body, the size to do that, and I was way too pretty to win the Olympia. So I just made my money off the covers. I went where the money was,
Right.
Smart guy.
The best thing about signing with the WBF, of course, was I also had a Weider contract for Weider publication.
Yeah.
And my other contract, there was loopholes all over it, which didn't affect my competing with the WBF.
Really? Wow. No kidding.
Joe hated that.
Wow.
Because I was because I had a 4-year with Joe also.
So how were you able to do that, Eddie? Was it just like a magazine contract or a modeling contract?
It was my contract was for the publications of Muscle and Fitness.
Okay. So not the IFBB. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So at the end of my year, I was going to re-sign with the ICOPRO, and Joe bought my contract out. And that's when I had all the controversy with Wayne DeMiglia. And then I didn't have a chance in hell to win or even place. They wouldn't even call me out when I came back because they're giving me a little spanky from the effect to the WBF.
Right.
But I didn't care. Joe said, just get in the best shape of your life. And I'm gonna put you on every cover and every spread, and that's what I did. I got 87 covers, and that's what made my money. Magazines say, "Hey, what do you want for a cover?" I said, "Get 25,000 or forget about it." And when you're more popular, you can name your own price.
Yeah.
So,
isn't it amazing how bodybuilding and the world has changed so much? Where the magazines were so big back then, and now it's all gone.
Yeah. No, they don't even have magazines anymore, do they?
They might
they
have.
Don't even out. The last time I seen them on a magazine rack by the checkout, they had a plastic thing over top of it where you couldn't see it, which was I'm like, why?
Really?
Why'd they do that?
Huh.
And the reason they did that is that I asked the cashier, I go, why is there a plastic thing over top? They goes, because you're showing too much body. I'm like, are you kidding me?
This is today, right now?
No, this was a while back. Nowadays, you can't even find the publications.
No, I never see any.
My mom and my grandma used to call me up and say, hey, I seen you at the register in the Muscle, Fitness, and Flex, which was great. That was the best thing to be on the cover is having your grandparents and your mom picking up the issues telling you to cover. That was better than actually being on it, just for them to be so proud of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I had that talk with Joe. This takes me back when I retired, back in 2002. When I sat down with Joe, and Joe said, "Hey, I'm selling the publications." And I go, "What? I'm done. I'm selling to David Peck with AMI, and he got a great deal on selling them." I go, "Why?" He said, "Because it's going down the tubes. I mean, I can't. My covers aren't selling anymore.
Wow.
The bodybuilding has made a big change. He's getting out what he getting was good, and he sold out. And he called it because." In all honesty, the Olympians, the athletes were getting way too big. They weren't marketable anymore. People were not buying the publications because that sex appeal wasn't there.
Right.
The Bob Paris's, the Barry DeMays, the Leela Bradas, all these great physiques that were polished and looked beautiful, but only 175 pounds. They're gone. There's all mutants, freaking huge freaks.
Yeah.
And that, my friend, ruined the sport. And today, forget about it. I'm appalled at I hate to say this, it's a bodybuilding show and all this, but the sport is like, I get tickets all the time sent to me for the Olympian. I don't even go. I just don't care to see the mutants. It's like, I'm saddened watching all these great athletes dying lately. I mean, the last 2 years, horrendous. I mean, and these young kids you don't hear about,
I know.
And I'm talking to these trainers, man, they're on, all these different peptides, GH, insulin. I mean, oh my God. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
What are you getting paid for this? Nothing. They're not even getting paid.
Right. I mean, you were just saying how much did you make for a magazine cover? 25?
Well, I remember Bob Kennedy because Robert Kennedy I made him pay 25 because I had a little problem with him a lot of times. But, on the issues, I'd ask 20, 25. Depends if I had a inside spread, do 5 or 6 pages inside and a cover. It depended on what they all wanted,
Yeah. That's amazing there, Getty, because if you look at today, I hear today's competitors and they'll do a photo shoot. They pay the photographer to get photos of them done, but there's no more magazines. So there's really it's not like it was before where, the Joe Weider or Bob Kennedy's paying a photographer to film you and then they pay you money to do it,
So the athletes got to pay to be on the cover.
Yeah, there's no covers anymore. I mean, they're just paying photographers to do photo shoots, and then they just have pictures for themselves, I guess, for Instagram or whatever. But it's the whole marketing part is gone,
But get this. No, Franco. Back in our day, of course, we had to bust our ass, and there was guys in that USA that's been there 4, 5, 6 times trying to win that pro card.
Yeah,
there's only 2 to 3 pro cards handed out a year.
Yeah.
When we compare.
Now there's like 400. And why? Why is there 400 now given out a year? Because you also have to pay to be a pro athlete.
I know.
A year. Are you freaking lost your freaking mind? Who pays to be a pro?
Money off of those competitions today. I know. I just went to a show. A girl went in like 4 or 5 different classes and paid $200 to go in each class.
Yeah.
It's like $1,000 just to go compete.
Yeah.
When we competed, they gave away the overall USA and each weight class in the nationals and the North America overall got a pro card, and that was it. They gave away 6 pro cards a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then the lightweight, bantamweight guys, they never did nothing. You know what I mean? It was like middleweights. Sometimes they would move up and make it into the pros, but it was always the light heavyweights and heavyweights that really did it. And then sometimes you got a middleweight that would grow into his physique.
Yeah.
But so really only 4 guys were turning pro a year that was competing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. When you guys were teenagers, were you looking at turning pro? I mean, you were both really genetically gifted. You were
when I competed at 15 years old, and I went my first bodybuilding show. There was 21 guys, and I was 15, and I took second. That day, I said I'm going to be Mr. Teenage USA. And then when I won a Teenage USA Nationals, I said I'm going to be a pro. But my problem was there was so much drugs in my life. You know what I mean? I couldn't do nothing because I would.
At that age, Franco?
Bodybuilding, and I would go on binge and not train and do drugs for a year and come back and make a comeback.
Yeah.
And when I was making a comeback, I was still using. I was just smoking a lot of pot, drinking alcohol, and doing coke. I mean, I always wasn't doing, so. But I don't regret nothing. You know what I mean? It's good today. I got, like I said, I'm blessed with a beautiful family, and I'm alive, thank God, after all the death experiences.
Yeah.
Life is good that I get to still do a lot of work for the Lord. I do any chance I get to do ministry work, I'm still doing that. And I love to do that. You know what I mean? I love sharing what the God's done in my life for me with other people. Because my life, there's a lot of, I can identify with convicts and drug addicts and stuff like that. Not like Eddie. I mean, he didn't go that route, but I did, you know what I mean? So I have that avenue now. Cancer patients, I could, be a witness to and stuff, how God got me through all those times and mental illness and all that, because I was hospitalized for suicide.
Yeah.
Not today though, 11 years clean.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Hey, Franco, tell that story when you did the one contest, it was maybe the Teenage USA, and then you won your class, and then you were competing against Sean Ray, and you took like the whole summer you were partying. Tell that one.
Oh yeah. So me and Eddie just competed, and I just won the USA. Okay. So I said, okay, I think I had like 14 weeks to the teen nationals. So I went back to the Jersey Shore. I said, okay, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to party for 3 days, get crazy. And my 3 days turned into 8 weeks. I didn't work out for 8 weeks. I lit every 7 nights a week. Me and my brother went down to the Jersey Shore, and we had a motto. We were either going to meet girls or get in a fight. That was our life for the summer. We were crazy. So, it was Zwick. Lou Zwick is calling me every week asking me how I'm doing. I'm saying, oh, I'm doing great. And he said,
not even training.
I'm lying to him. Finally, it's like 7 weeks to the show. And he said, how are you doing? I'm like, I started crying. I'm like, Lou, I'm lying to you. I've been lying. I haven't worked out. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I haven't worked out, Lou. I go, I've been partying. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah. I goes, there's no way I could go into teen nationals and win. There's no way possible. So
how many weeks did you have left?
I had 7 weeks. He said, hold on a minute, I'll call you back. And he called up Perillo and he said, hey, I'm going to send this kid out to you. You got to train him for 7 weeks. I think you could get him back in shape. I went out to Perillo. 7 weeks later, I got on stage with Sean Ray and beat him after taking an 8-week break.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how you met John Perillo, right?
That's how I met John Perillo, yeah.
Yeah.
I still see John. He lives right by me, not far.
Oh, really?
His office is 2 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's awesome. How old is John now?
Here, if I take you, look at this. I'll show you this here. Whoop. I'm in my, oh gosh, I lost you. There, hold on. Here
no, you're there. I got you.
So I'm just going to take you over to my my cabinet in my house, and down here, look, we still got Perillo Performance. See it?
Oh, yeah.
Tap try. I still take his stuff. Yeah, it's good supplements.
Yeah.
He charges me though, that cheap son of a gun.
Yeah, Rick would.
I love him though. He's been through a lot of surgeries too, man. John used to be a power lifter when he was younger and bodybuilder.
Oh, okay.
And he used to power like Eddie used to power lift and bodybuild together.
Yeah.
But then John was too smart. He started getting to the engineering of supplements and all that stuff, and he went that route.
Now, when you guys turned pro, what was your thinking then? Like you were saying, Eddie, you didn't think you could ever win the Olympia, so you went more the magazines and the money, right?
Yeah, I mean, Olympia. Of course, the reason I say I didn't think I'd win the Olympia is because I took that. I knew. I wanted it really bad. Of course, in the beginning in 1990 when I hit my first Olympia. Then, when I signed over to Vincent McMahon's WBF, I knew it was done because I know what politics. I know I just burned a huge bridge. Not with Weiders, it's just with D'Amelia and Wayne. I didn't want to go all that at the time. Right. But I knew damn well I'd be blackballed for the rest of my life. But I also knew I had 4 years. If I banked it, I would have to work for the rest of my damn life. So I looked at it, where does the scale go? Screw that, Olympia. I'm gonna make some take care of my family, take care of my mama, buy me a nice house on the water, and I'm still here on the water.
right.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So the reason I said never, my mindset was never to win the Olympia. And the reason I say that is because, I hate to bash things and be this, oh yeah, right. I never wanted to do the insulin and what it took to be on that top. I really didn't. I wasn't going to, and I didn't, my health is perfect except for the accidents I was in, which was, an accident. But I didn't want to have enlarged heart and everything else that goes along with the GH and all the freaking insulin and all that shit. And
was that starting already then, Eddie, around that time?
That's just starting.
Yeah. Yeah, right then in the 90s. I mean, you know, I have some pictures here with Johnnie Morant behind me. Not Johnnie Morant, but Ronnie Coleman, and he was small, dude.
Yeah.
And I seen Ronnie come back 40 pounds heavier. This is when Dorian took it and Momo passed away at one of my, you know, contests.
Right.
And when I dig into it, what is it? This insulin kept going around. Everybody's doing this insulin. And finally, you know, it broke out. How are these guys getting so huge? Well, they're doing insulin with every meal. They're freaking pumping the GH, and they're getting twice the size from this cocktail.
Right.
And steroids got to be Kool-Aid, and nowadays it's still Kool-Aid. So you got these peptides, and it's just, you know, mutants, man. And so I didn't choose to do that route. And Joe didn't want me to do that route either. He said, don't do it because I need you to sell publications. I need you to be my moneymaker.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that. So that's why I got 87 covers, and I was just blasting every publication.
Yeah.
And when I did publication, it made me in demand to all the foreign publications, you know, and those foreign, you know, I said, hey, you know, banking the money, charging them for the covers and the photo shoot, because every photo shoot I did, I wouldn't sign a release unless I had the rights to use every one of those photos for my own personal. And I also told Joe he has 24 months to use those photos, and it was dead. Now he paid me extra money. So that's why you see any other, you know, no of these other bodybuilders, they take these photos and they'll sell them to anybody. There's nothing they can do because they have the rights to it. It's crazy. I don't use my photo because I make sure that I have the rights to those photos. That's me. You know, because once you do a photo shoot and you sign that release, they can sell it to every nutrition company, put you on a label, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So your deal with Weider, was it just a contract where he could just do as many photo shoots as he wanted? Or were you getting paid for each shoot?
He pretty much paid my contract for Muscle Fitness and Flex, and Weider Nutrition was basically to represent the publication and nutrition. Okay. So I shot for the publications constantly, but I also said that, hey, you know, my contract's up. You're not using my photos ever again, because that's why I would write on the contract when this is only for whatever was left on my contract. Like if there was 8 months left on my contract and I did a photo shoot with Chris Lund or Robert Reef or Bill Dobbs, whoever it may be, I'd write on there, these photos are dead in 8 months when my contract's up and will not be able to use unless the consent of Edward Robinson, blah, blah, blah. I always wrote that at the bottom in all my things. And if they said no, I said, I'll go home. I'm done.
Okay.
So they couldn't use any of these photos. And of course, when my contract was up, they re-signed me because I knew they couldn't keep the library of photos I had because they were dead. They couldn't use them. Go ahead and use them. Last person who used my photo cost them $200,000 without my permission.
Wow.
It would have been $1 million, but they settled out of court because they knew I would have got that $1 million. So use my photo, baby. Use it. Don't let me catch you. Don't let me catch you.
That's a great idea. How about you, Franco? When you turned pro in '89, were you looking at, you know, I want to go into the Mr. Olympia, I want to be a top pro? What was your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was my heart. That was my dream to go to the Olympia and win it. But, you know, there was something stopping me. You know, Satan had a grip on me, brother. I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I had dreams to do it, but my addiction just didn't allow it. You can't be a great pro bodybuilder when you're a drug addict.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't even, when we talk about the juice, I told you, John, I barely even ever did steroids. Remember?
Yeah.
I built my physique off of hard work and good nutrition. I'm not going to say I didn't do them, but I didn't do a lot of them because I told you, remember? I would get GH and I would get steroids and sell it and go get coke.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's whatever.
It's amazing the physique you built. It's amazing the physique you built, you know, with that addiction. It's incredible.
God gave me some good genetics, that's for sure.
Yeah. Because like you said, the competition back then was unbelievable. I look at some of those contests from the 1980s. It's so deep. Every lineup is so deep. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So Franco, what do you think? What do you think about bodybuilding today? Like Eddie was talking.
Oh, just exactly what Eddie said, man. I'm just gonna ditto what he said.
Yeah.
I don't whatever Eddie said. I reiterate all of it. It's it really kind of disgusts me, honestly. But it's what it is. I mean, I don't even understand how it's a sport. It's more like it's like a chemistry experiment. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, look at him.
My new pit bull, Finn. Say hi, Finn.
Dog.
Hey, listen, He's Finn. He's 15 weeks old. He's about 30.
He's like a puppy.
He's my new pitty.
Yeah.
And his first time he's ever on a bodybuilding show.
There you go. He's a star now.
Yeah.
So question for you, Franco. If you've seen bodybuilding today and we were teenagers again, and you look at all these bodybuilders, would you want to be a pro today?
No.
Absolutely not. Right?
No.
Yeah.
It's there's no beauty. You know?
I remember at like Frank Zane and,
Ditto.
guys like, Samir Bannout.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how I looked. I remember.
Yeah, when some of the bodybuilders today look at those guys, they say they were too skinny and they don't understand how they won Mr. Olympia, and
right?
they don't understand how great those guys were.
We were too skinny?
No, like Frank Zane, Samir, they look at him and they're like, how did this guy ever win Mr. Olympia? They don't understand the beauty of
amazing tremendous physique.
Yeah, but have one of them do a vacuum pose like Frank Zane, and let's see who looks the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can anybody do Franco Zane? I think most of them are Prego, aren't they? I mean, when I got into 19, when I started coming back to the IFBB, I looked down the lineup, and man, everybody was freaking pregnant. And if I were to look like that in the beginning of my career, I would not place. But during that time, you didn't place not unless you were Prego. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
And to watch these guys walk the center stage, they're huffing and puffing just to get to that X, man. I'm like, is this a healthy sport?
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember being at a show with a bodybuilder. You remember Paul DeWitt?
Paul DeLette?
But DeLette. I remember being at a show with him, and he was just like, he couldn't breathe.
Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, man, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
He couldn't get breath.
Yeah, I think he had asthma too, though.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he had a bad asthma problem. So
maybe that's what it was. I was like, wow, this poor guy can't breathe.
Who were the guys that inspired you when you guys were younger, when you were like teenagers? Who were the bodybuilders that inspired you?
When I was a teenager?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
Franco inspired me.
Eddie inspired me.
I just wanted to beat his ass. And he wanted to beat my ass.
I couldn't wait. I tell people, I said, I'm doing a interview with Eddie Robinson, and we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. I loved everybody in the sport because everybody had their physique that I liked. Everybody loved Tom Plass's legs. Everybody loved back and biceps, and Bertel Fox was so freaking huge. And I mean, I on and on about every athlete that they were just phenomenal because they were all different and had that special look.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Frank Zane was like crazy ripped and just had such flowing symmetry and beauty to his body, and I think he was the only one to really beat Arnold out in Olympia, wasn't it?
Yeah, at the Universe,
right. So and even when Haney was competing against Lee Labrada, I mean, two different physiques, and it looks so great to see a guy that weighed 35, 40 pounds and a guy at 175 or whatever Lee Labrada was at, first and second place. And that's what I want to see is the little guy and the big guy. You don't have to be the big guy to win. Today's all cookie cutter, full of oils, full of pumped up. I mean, it's just freaking cookie cutter giant. You turned the light off and put a light behind them and looked at all the physiques. It looked like a bunch of refrigerators lined up on stage.
Right.
All the same cookie cutter shape.
Yeah. What do you think of that classic physique? Have you guys seen that new division they have? They're trying to bring back the look. It's called classic physique.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. That's kind of, that's an interesting thing. I like that.
Yeah.
Ain't it classic like what we used to look like back in the day?
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to recapture that. The more the symmetry.
Bodybuilding,
Yeah. I think it's starting to catch on. So I think that was their answer because the guys were getting so big,
Right.
Well, a lot of fishing, Eddie?
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I did this morning. I caught 2 bass this morning out here on the lake. I got right out here in the lake. I got off the seawall. This is fresh water and it spills over to Tampa Bay. Okay. But I got like 20, 30, at least 5 to 6 pounders out here every day because I feed them all my leftovers, rice and stuff. I throw it out there. It's like feeding the fish.
Stick around there, huh?
Yeah, I don't eat them. I'm a catch and release, and I hate watching these guys keep them when they come around because I feed them all the time. They're like my friends,
Yeah.
But yeah, I fish bass and stuff out here on the lake, and I go across the street in the bay, and I catch flounder, reds, snook, and it's long line fun time all the time.
We go out there and catch flounder. Do you keep that, or you throw them back too?
Oh yeah. Yeah, most of my diet came off this bay. I a lot of snook, a lot of cobia. I go out deep and do a lot of grouper fishing.
Good.
Refrigerator's full of fish. My son is I call him the snook slayer. He'll catch 3 or 4 a night. He's just a master. The thing is known where they're bedding at. So we'll look down at the views from the satellites and see where all the grass beds are and all that stuff. We target them. So it's all about doing your homework and being smart, and knowing where they're at.
Yeah.
There you go.
Are you in Largo, Eddie? Are you still in Largo? Eddie, are you still in Largo?
No, I'm in Safety Harbor, right on Tampa Bay.
Okay.
You got 60 that goes across from the airport, 60 that goes across the bay. I live right off 60, the Courtney Campbell Causeway.
Oh, okay. That's where I live. I live in Tampa on 60, off of 60.
Oh, yeah, good deal.
Yeah,
I'm right across the bay then from you. You know what the Safety Harbor Spa is?
Yeah.
I live right across the street.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
So I've been here. I mean, after I got my first contract with Weider, that's when I bought this house. I've been here since 88, 89.
Okay. All right.
So
been there a long time.
Oh yeah. Love it.
Franco, you're still in New Jersey, right?
No, I'm in Ohio.
Oh, you're in Ohio. Okay.
I've
Really?
been in Ohio for since I was 35.
Oh, okay. By Perillo.
Yeah.
Found
home here.
Well, I was born in Akron. Akron, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Buckeye. Yep, Akron, Canton area. I went to Coventry High School, lived in Portage Lakes. I left there when I got out of high school, 17, 18 years old. That's when I jetted down to Florida.
Yeah. You being from Akron, Ohio. Remember that? Yeah.
Well, back in Ohio, all you did in wintertime was arm wrestle. So that's why I was a good arm wrestler.
Oh, really?
We drank beer and we arm wrestled. And that's what I did for a living because I'd make $500 and get a free beer tab. So why would I have to work during the week?
Right.
So we would travel around the pub, just arm wrestling.
Oh,
it was what we did back then.
Yeah. Now, are you able to go heavy again, Eddie, after your injuries, or are you just kind of maintaining?
Absolutely not. I mean, I just started squatting last week. I'll go to 315. That's where I'll max out at. I can't go heavy with the new hip I have because I don't want to pop it out. I can feel it, when I hit 315 is my max. I'll do on a squat now.
Yeah.
I mean, we were 675 going up to 800 pounds doing 400-pound front squats. Yeah, those days are freaking gone. Why though?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
My bench press, like I say, I was doing the high sixes back in 2018. I'm lucky to do 2.25 now. I'm lucky to do 2.25 now. My shoulders won't handle it. The pain I get for 3 or 4 days after is just not worth it.
Is that from the nerves and stuff?
Yeah, the nerves are. I mean, they're the shot. I mean, I have a lot of problem with the strength because they hang up. I got these dead spots, like on a French curl, or I can't do it. There's a dead spot. It impinges, and I just can't do anything. There's nothing you can do about it. So I just train on what I can do and how heavy I can go and what doesn't hurt.
I think I have the same exact training philosophy. Whatever I can do, heavy as I can, and as long as it don't hurt.
Take advantage. If it doesn't hurt, destroy it.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, I know, Eddie, you got to go to church, so I wanted to thank you guys for joining me. It was great having you two together again, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys on the Bodybuilding Legends podcast.
John, great pleasure. Always good talking to you. And Franco, both you guys, I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Franco, I'm going to inbox me. I'm going to give you my number. We need to keep in touch, man.
Okay. You got it, buddy.
We'll set the world on fire. Get these people back and following the Lord, man, because I tell you what, they need to be.
I'm gonna message you, and I want to get your number. We're gonna talk because Eddie, we can do a lot for the Lord. I mean, we did a lot for ourselves, but we can do so much for God before we go home. And let's do it.
That's what I want to talk to you about.
Let's talk about that, bro.
So let's go ahead and set the world on fire on our second chapter. You got it? I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, John. Stay tuned. All right.
All right, I will. Okay, guys.
All right,
thank you very much.
Guys. Happy Palm Sunday.
You too. Take care, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.